there are individuals who have devoted their lives to chasing down proof of UFOs. But as you're about to see, this pursuit of the unknown can be terrifying and potentially dangerous. It's August 2022 at Robert Moses State Park on Long Island in New York. Two UFO researchers, brothers Jerry and John Tedesco, are getting ready to film late at night with infrared cameras. Their footage shows two spherical objects appearing off in the distance. One of the brothers begins painting the UFO with a device which emits infrared lights. Moments later, there seems to be a response as a purple light flashes in and out, coming closer and closer to the shore.
Where's that come from, John?
Coming closer. Right here. Go back up.
The brothers panic and decide to flee.
Back up. Go, go!
You know, it was a kind of a flight or fight response. It came up on us so suddenly, and it was so huge.
Then, one of the brothers turns his infrared camera back towards the water and captures a remarkable arc of light. An electromagnetic interference appears to strike their cameras, and both brothers feel they can't use their legs.
I can't move. I can't get myself, away from the water's edge.
They recover after a few minutes and continue to record what are actually 3 points of infrared light, all invisible to the naked eye.
Two of the lights are stacked one on top of the other, and then the other light is off in the distance. So they're under the impression that what they're dealing with is potentially 3 craft or one larger craft with more points of light.
The lights soon disappear, but in the following days, the brothers say they experience swollen lymph nodes and extreme fatigue. Benaya says this is similar to what happened in May of 1951 to some Korean War soldiers after they allegedly saw a UFO.
They started to see this strange light moving down the mountainside towards this village, and they can hear their bullets pinging off of the exterior of this object. Shortly thereafter, they start to experience some bizarre symptoms, and basically they're treated for radiation sickness.
That was the end of the story for those soldiers. For the Tedesco brothers, however, it seems that whatever they encountered may have latched on. Months later, in the driveway next to John's house, a camera mounted on the RV they use on investigations captures footage of what may be the mysterious object's return.
Once these street lights went out, you see a growing blue source of light. It went from blue to white light, and the white light grew almost as though there was an object that was overhead, and once it had descended to a certain altitude, the streetlights came back on, and then this object had gone away.
The Tedesco brothers believe they experienced what is known as the hitchhiker effect, where people encounter a UFO that follows them home and makes them sick. So could we really be seeing multiple UFO sightings in these videos? We turn to our experts to find out. First, Dr. Ed Hope explores if radiation exposure may be behind the brothers' temporary leg paralysis.
Now, for radiation to stop you in your tracks, you're going to have an extremely high exposure, like being within 1 mile of an atomic bomb. But they had no systemic symptoms after the event.
Radiation isn't the only potential cause of the alleged paralysis. It could also be plain old fear.
In a stressful situation, we get our fight or flight response. Now, typically this gets us ready for action, but it can do the opposite. It can make us feel like we can't move, so-called being scared stiff.
Still, Dr. Hope believes that both brothers experiencing paralysis makes it unlikely that fear alone provoked this response. And the executive director of the UAP Medical Coalition, Ted Rowe, who personally interviewed the brothers, says paralysis is common in encounters with UFOs, also called UAPs.
And it's very consistent in the literature that UAP witnesses experience paralysis. You have to ask yourself, what is this and where does it come from? Because it's very exotic.
So what could we be seeing in this video?
We've got an object or objects that are visible only in the infrared. So I really find this case compelling as an unexplained encounter of some kind.
And when you factor in the other anomalous behavior, Shadaga says these two encounters could be the most convincing evidence yet of the infamous hitchhiker effect.
It turns out that their sensors had to be replaced after this incident. Now, to me, that's remarkable corroborative evidence that something unusual happened here.
Our verdict? These lights came from a genuine UFO. With videos this strange, we still need to gather and analyze more data before we can make an identification here. As for the Tedesco brothers, we can report that they're fully recovered and have no lasting symptoms from the incident.